What's up, guys? It's Mic Drop Music Talk episode 5, and I'm so excited. One of my very good friends is here in the studio today, Lex, aka Etari.
Yes, hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Etari Music.
Yes.
And I'm so honored, guys, because this is her first ever on-camera interview talking about her music.
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. Let's do it.
And it's time.
It's literally time. It's time.
You guys, a little bit about her. She is a self-taught DJ who's been rising in the LA scene. She's playing a show pretty much every weekend, and that's really impressive. I mean, this is an extremely competitive market, and she's getting the job done.
Getting it done, doing what I gotta do.
I know. And it's so funny because, okay, so some background on how I know Lex. I, back in the day, was actually an agent in the music industry, and I worked with Lex's girlfriend, Danny. So I was...
Good old Sam.
I know. Hi, Danny. Shout out, Danny. So I was co-workers with Danny. I met Lex, and I feel like we really became close in 2020.
Yes.
And
quarantine days.
Yeah, life looked really
the wine nights. The endless wine.
Not the wine night. Please, not the wine night.
We love the endless wine nights.
Guys, we had nothing to do but drink wine.
And have good conversation.
Yeah. But I do miss it a little bit.
I miss it. I miss it.
I miss kind of the simplicity of it.
Yes.
We would just text in our group chat, be like, wine night?
We're like, let's do it. Let's go.
And by the end of it, I was like, I would text Lex and be like, God damn, I cannot handle another wine night. Because our lives were so different. Tell us a little bit about where you were about a year ago from today.
A year ago from today. So yeah, that was during quarantine times, and I was playing quite a few gigs right before quarantine started. Out of nowhere, quarantine happened, no more gigs. Literally like the saddest time to be a DJ. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But you know, I took it upon myself to just really dive into my musical craft, and you know, that was kind of like where everything happened with my debut album, which I released in 2021. I'm sure we'll get more into that in a little bit. But yeah, literally was playing gigs, stopped playing gigs all 2020, but it's 2021 now, and things are rolling, things are going.
And I know that must have just felt so defeating, that feeling of like, okay, I'm finally making some progress, I'm playing gigs in LA, and then all of a sudden just nothing.
It was very defeating. But like I said, that is when I was like, okay, it's quarantine. I can't be super down on myself this whole time. So like, what can I do if I'm not out playing gigs? So that's when I really just took it upon myself to deepen my musical craft, and that is how the whole birth of Rainbow Eucalyptus happened, which is my album that I released in 2021. And that is a whole story, honestly.
Wait, what's the whole story?
That is a whole story. So
I don't know if I know the whole story.
You might not, honestly, so let's get into it.
Some exclusive tea.
Let's go. So Rainbow Eucalyptus, it's my album. There's 8 tracks on it. However, when I first made this project, it was only supposed to be a 4-track EP. And I was sending it to nonstop labels, probably about like 4 to 5 labels, and just kept getting rejection after rejection after rejection. And I was like, damn, like what is going on? But it was as simple as just like their schedules for releases. It was just too packed, or it just wasn't the sound they were looking for. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep trying. So I did, and I'm gonna keep trying.
So you have to do.
You have to do that because
have to.
It's inevitable. In the music industry, you're gonna get rejection.
Yeah.
And not even just the music industry, just in life.
Any
rejection,
industry, really, yeah.
Exactly, it's just gonna happen. So I went ahead and was like, okay, well, let's like start searching for other labels. So I was looking through my SoundCloud followers, or my following, the people that I follow. And that is when I found the amazing 100% Silk. It's a label based in Los Angeles. And I was listening to their past releases, and I was like, oh my gosh.
This is me.
This is the label. Like, how is this actually not my first pick to begin with? It just like didn't come to mind. And I was like, okay, this is the whole vibe and aesthetic I'm going for. So I went ahead and I shot my shot. I wasn't expecting a reply back for at least like a week or 2, because literally these labels take forever to get back to you.
Yeah.
And not even kidding, just less than 24 hours, they get back to me. And they were like...
Wait, guys, I never knew this. Never knew this.
Not even kidding, less than 24 hours. I'm like, oh my gosh, I already got an email back from them. And it's them saying, hey, we really dig these tracks and we want these on the label. But then, of course, a little curveball got thrown my way.
Yeah, it's never that easy.
It's never that just like, easy, of
here
course.
You go, you're a star now.
Exactly. So a little curveball got thrown my way. And they were like, so at our label, we only like doing lengthy releases, as in albums. And I was like, okay. They're like, by any chance, do you have any other tracks that you can send us for this project? And in that moment, I was like, I don't have any like new tracks that I just made.
Like it took me forever to make these.
Exactly. Because my creative process, especially during quarantine, was so just up and down, up and down. But then I was like, wait a second. I have so many unfinished projects because I have a really bad tendency of starting a track and then I'm like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. I'm over it. And I just start something new. So I looked through all my old projects and somehow magically I found 4 other tracks that just fit amazing for this project. And I went ahead and finished those, which took a little while to finish the tracks. But I eventually finished them. I sent them their way. And I was like, hey guys, here's the tracks. Like, let me know what you think. And then they got back to me and they're like, let's do this. We love it. And literally before you know it, I had a whole album that I was going to release. That was not my intention whatsoever, which is so... It's really crazy how the universe works.
No, I
like
swear
so
to God,
wild.
One of my mantras that I live by is closed mouths don't get fed.
Ooh, yep.
It's just so true.
It's so freaking true.
You're not going to get what you want unless you ask.
You have to go after what you want.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because before, when I was getting rejected from the other labels, it was me just trying to release my second EP. I had no intention of releasing an album. It wasn't even on my mind yet.
Yeah.
I was like still kind of, finally releasing stuff. And I was like, I don't need to release an album yet. But then all of a sudden this happened and I was like, okay, let's do it.
So your first real release was a full album.
Actually, no. So there was one before that, which happened, this was actually so in 2019, end of 2019, in September, I believe, my very first debut EP released called Healing Herself EP. And that was actually the first project that really kind of opened things up for me.
Put you on the map.
It put me on the map. People started realizing who I was. People started hitting me up and I was like, okay, wow, this is crazy. And that moment is when I was like, I can actually do this.
Yeah, what was the plan prior 2019?
Prior 2019.
What was did you have any kind of maybe I should do this or my family wants me to do that?
Oh my gosh, okay, yeah. I have so many different passions that I would love to just dabble in.
Let's hear it.
So music, obviously. I also love fashion. I'm not quite sure what I would do in the fashion world, but I love it. I know that for a fact. I love food. I love cooking.
Yes.
I love eating good food.
Yes.
I'm like, yes.
Lots of potlucks were involved in the wine
yes,
night.
They were.
She's
they
a good
so
cook.
were.
She can cook.
Oh,
I can verify.
Jess can definitely cook too.
Me?
Yes.
Me. So.
But yeah, and then also I just love I love interior design. There's a lot
anything
of things.
Artistic.
I'm a very artistic person. So there's so many things I've thought of. I've almost thought of, which I feel like this is a very natural thing as an artist to sometimes doubt yourself and where you're going, the direction you're going in.
Absolutely. And I think 2020 was a pivotal time for a lot of artists where they were they took it as a sign of okay, I shouldn't be doing this anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And it seems like you kind of spun it the complete opposite.
I did. Trust me, I had my moments though.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm only human. I had my moments throughout quarantine before the whole album thing happened where I was like, is this even going to be a good thing for me? Is anything going to be back to normal? Is this going to work anymore?
Well, that's a whole other thing, especially as a DJ because we really didn't know if clubs were ever even going to be a thing again.
I was honestly scared, Jess.
Yeah.
I was like, am I ever going to get back to what I love doing? Is anyone going to get back to what they love doing?
Yeah.
It was a scary time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely have so many other passions and so many other things I've thought of doing. But at the end of the day, music is for me.
This is it for now.
This is it right now. Yeah.
Speaking of other quotes that we live by, I saw this one a couple days ago and it kind of changed everything for me. The quote is, everything is just for now.
Oh my God, I like that.
And I'm like...
I actually love that so much because I feel like that is saying live in the present moment and just enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, and just
I love that.
just kind of take it for what it is. Like, yeah, maybe you won't be a DJ for 100 years. Maybe one day you'll wake up and you want to do pottery, but it's like...
Exactly. Hey, I honestly would maybe love doing pottery.
Should we go to a pottery class?
I think we should. We should go to a pottery class.
Let's freaking go.
They definitely have them here in LA.
Yeah, no, they do. I've looked into it.
Okay, amazing.
I did. That was like a 2020 thing. Like, what will cure my depression?
Pottery.
It's the pottery for me.
That is too good.
Gosh dang it. I knew we were going to get on these tangents.
Yeah, we were.
I knew. It was unavoidable.
It's inevitable.
But while we're on the topic of the album, I am going to play a little game.
Okay.
So I normally don't brief my guests on the game whatsoever. However, this one required a tiny bit of homework. So I reached out to Lex and I told her, every single song, I need you to pick one photo that encapsulates the feeling of this song to you. So what I'm going to do is provide you guys with an immersive listening experience.
Oh my, that is amazing.
Are you kidding me?
That is so, I love that.
So buckle up, guys, because we're about to dive in and we're going to use all of our senses. You're going to hear the backstory behind some of these songs.
Wow.
Get ready. All right, guys, welcome back to a first of its kind experience, not only on Mic Drop, but for Itari herself.
Yes.
We're going to go through this album. We're going to use all of our senses. We're going to get some background on the tracks.
Hell yeah.
We're going to laugh. We're going to cry.
All of it.
We're going to feel all the feels.
Hell yeah.
So let's start with the opening track, El Sol.
El Sol, the sun.
Obviously the sun.
Yeah, so that track, I chose that for the first track because, well, first off, it's a very beautiful ambient track, and I feel like the instruments that I used in it, there's like this guitar sound that you just hear getting like louder and louder, and it's like, do no 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 no, and for that reason, I chose that actually as the beginning track because it sounds like you're just like opening up.
Like a sunrise
and
kind of?
Like a sunrise vibe, and you're opening up and you're like entering this album, basically. Yes. That is the way that I kind of like, I really mapped everything like a story in this album, but that is why I chose that as the first track.
Absolutely.
And that's why I also chose this picture, because it's literally her sitting. This almost reminds me of like a new beginning. Like she's sitting here, and then there's people walking.
Kind of, yeah.
Like walking into this like unknown. Like you have no idea what this is. And to me, I just kind of saw that as a new beginning. And it really just matched with the overall vibe of the track. I thought it was perfect.
And that's a big reason why I chose to do this game with you, is because your music is so ambient, like you're saying, and it just has such a vibe, and you don't necessarily express yourself through lyrics so much.
No, actually, not at all.
And as a DJ on stage, like you're saying, you don't really talk much on stage.
No, not at all.
You never do interviews. So this is really a first experience for people to know what was going through your head.
Absolutely. Producing really is my way of just like letting out all of my emotions as a human being I do it into my music.
Yeah.
That is like my way of doing it. So I feel like my music is it's definitely a very storytelling experience. Yeah.
And so I have to end with a question for each slide.
For sure.
Slide. Each slide.
Each slide.
We're sliding through.
Sliding through.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yes, please.
Describe how you'd spend a perfect day in the sun.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Echo Park. Echo Park, 110%. I would love to go to Echo Park with all the homies. Honestly, if we had like some way to just like have a little like DJ set up there, I would play probably honestly a lot of the music from my album.
Yeah.
So this one is Euphoric Disclaimer. This is actually my personal favorite on the album.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is I feel like every artist kind of has like their personal favorite, and this is mine. And what's cool is I have had quite a few friends that have reached out to me saying this is actually their personal favorite too. But yeah, Euphoric Disclaimer, honestly I chose this because when I listen to Euphoric Disclaimer, I just like think of running around in the jungle. I don't know what it is about the track. I just like
Jungle Girl.
Just like Jungle Girl. But in the track, I infuse just like a lot of the whole album has a lot of nature sounds, but especially this one, like
you're like in Tulum, or you're in Hawaii.
Tulum actually. Tulum is the perfect. That's amazing. Tulum.
Here we are.
We're in Tulum, babes. But yeah, that's literally why I chose this, because it's just like I don't know, a forest and just tons of greenery. That really is why I chose this. Yeah.
So, I must know, when was the last time you felt the feeling of euphoria?
Oh my gosh, the feeling of...
Keep it PG, people.
I'm so
There's kids watching the show.
There's kids watching Mic Drop music.
Maybe. I don't know, actually.
I don't know. Who knows?
I gotta do my research.
A label that I'm a part of called Low Recordings, they actually reached out to me to be a resident DJ for them, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And they actually had me play this really huge warehouse party, and I opened up for this artist named Felipe Gordon. He is so freaking dope. Like, just like very jazzy, very housey, very groovy. And he's definitely made a name for himself. So I got to open up for him, and then I also got to open up for this DJ named Grant, and he's exactly the same way. So that was definitely a moment of euphoria for me, being able to open up for these legends. I was like, no way, this is insane.
Making your dreams come true.
Yes. So this is the beloved Rainbow Eucalyptus. This is literally the track that made this album come to life. Rainbow Eucalyptus actually was the first track I ever made for the album. I remember it was just like this late night, 1 a.m. I just felt like producing. I was like laying in bed, still living at home, just like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And I literally was like, you know what? I kind of want to make music right now. Just hop out of bed, went to my desk, started doing my thing. And I usually like start with the drums first when I make music. Got the drums going. I was like, okay, hell yeah, feeling this. And then I usually find like the main like melodic pad sound that's like kind of in the background. Found that and then started like adding a couple melodies in. And I literally worked on it and finished it like in a day. I was like, this is the track. Like, this is gonna be the beginning of the album.
I swear those big ideas always come like this. They
Yeah,
just
exactly.
hit you.
Yeah. But yeah, I literally chose this picture for it just because, look at it, Rainbow Eucalyptus. It just reminded me of the track so much.
So since we're having a sensory experience here, let's use our sense of smell.
Yes.
What is your favorite smell? Like, what's your favorite scent?
Oh man, my favorite scent. This is gonna sound a little cliche.
Is it gasoline or something?
No, I love the scent of eucalyptus.
That's why I asked. That's actually why I asked.
am in love with eucalyptus. Like, I love essential oils. Eucalyptus is one of my favorite. Also love like peppermint oil and just like all kinds of oils, but eucalyptus, my favorite.
I had a feeling.
Yes.
I had a feeling.
So this was for Funky Fuchsia, Miss Funky Fuchsia.
Miss
Funky Fuchsia. I chose this because when I listen to Funky Fuchsia, it's actually like one of the more like deeper, like super kind of like hypnotic, groovy tracks, and it makes me like think of walking around. This is probably like Tokyo or something. It makes me think of roaming around with the homies and just like experiencing nightlife. That is what I feel when I listen to Funky Fuchsia. So that's why I chose this.
I love that. Yeah. And going off that, my question for Funky Fuchsia is, what color is your energy?
Oh
like,
my
according
gosh.
to you.
What color is my energy? Honestly, I feel like I'm a very outgoing, very positive person.
I'll tell you what I think it is, but I want you to go first.
Okay. Honestly, I'm kind of in. I love yellow.
I was gonna say yellow.
I love yellow.
You're a yellow.
I feel like I'm very yellow.
Yes.
I almost was gonna maybe go with orange, but yellow just feels more me.
Yes.
I'm very yellow.
I've been told I'm yellow too.
Yes, yellow queens.
No, you're yellow for sure.
I'm
you're
so
so
yellow.
warm and happy and all good things yellow.
Yes. So dandelion.
Wait, first of all, pause. Yeah. Aren't all of these photos she chose amazing? When she emailed them to me, I freaked out. I'm like, this is gonna look so cool.
I love very aesthetically pleasing things.
Yeah.
So I was like, I was having so much fun.
It really all comes together with these photos.
Thank you. This is for Dandelion Dance. I chose this because first of all, dandelions. And are those dandelions actually?
Are they?
I'm so dead. Anyways, I'm actually
first
not.
First of all, dandelions. Actually, I think they're daisies.
Oh my gosh, daisy dance, baby. I'm so dead.
I didn't go to flower school, so I do not know.
Clearly, I didn't either.
I did not get my degree in flowers.
Because now I'm looking and they're definitely not. But anyways, it reminded me.
We respect the floral arts, nonetheless.
Yes, absolutely. But when I made Dandelion Dance, I actually like literally was thinking of dandelion flowers like dancing and grooving together. And the track sounds exactly like that to me. So that's why I chose this. It looks like they're all just kind of, having a trippy time and grooving.
They very well might be. So this is kind of a silly question, but going off our senses again. So never be able to dance again, or never be able to smell the flowers.
Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, like never. I would probably go with never smelling flowers again.
Yeah.
As much as I love it, like
They're
I need to
still,
dance.
Like, you can look at them and admire the look.
Exactly.
You don't need to smell them, I guess.
I guess I don't need to smell them, even though I do love smelling great things. But I need to dance.
You just gotta dance.
I need to dance. I need to groove.
Just dance. Everything's gonna be okay. Da-dub-doo-doo.
So this one is Luna Tears. This is probably like one of the most emotional tracks on the album. That is why I chose this, because it literally looks just like a flow of just tears and emotion packed into the photo.
Yeah.
And that's what Luna Tears is for me. It's just like, because remember how I mentioned before how when I got asked to make an album instead for the label, I had to go into my tracks that weren't complete yet, and I had to like look for new tracks and complete them.
This is one of them?
This is one of them, and I feel like I definitely made this track during a time in my life where I was probably going through it. So, Luna Tears.
Luna Tears. Okay, my question for this one is, what is something dumb that makes you cry?
Something dumb?
Not like something traditional, like...
Okay, like what do we mean?
Like, do you cry at, like, I don't know, the In the Arms of the Angels dog commercials?
Oh my gosh.
I cry personally at baby pictures. Like, I see baby pictures and I cry.
For some reason, I can't picture you crying at a baby picture.
I cry once a year.
That's why
I cry maybe once a year tops. But the one thing that will choke me up is baby pictures. That's the dumb thing for me.
You know what? There is one thing. I just don't remember the track name. But, you know, back in the day, like, my parents are religious, so obviously I was always, like, cruising to church with them back in the day. And there was this one song that would always play.
You
like,
raise me up.
It wasn't that one. God, what was it called? I think it was called, like, Oceans or something. But every time it would play, I would just start bawling my eyes out. And I was like, why am I crying so hard?
Actually, you know what? I saw Kanye West at Sunday Service Coachella.
Oh, my gosh.
Granted, it was day 3 of Coachella, so I was drained. I was running low at that point anyways. Yeah. But the sounds of their voices in the choir singing literally brought me to tears.
Aww,
like, my friends turned around and I have, like, one single
trying to not let it go out.
But I love that it's music.
Yes,
even music makes you cry.
Yeah, all the time. I think that this is probably my second favorite on the album.
Runner-up.
This is Garden of Life, and this is actually a collab track that I did with, his artist name is Norris. His actual name is Felipe. He used to run Yellow Island Records, which is a label that I'm a part of, and I helped do things with them. But he collabed on this track with me, and it ended up, we just meshed so well when it comes to making music, because honestly, making music with other people, sometimes you just don't know how it's gonna be, because sometimes people's energies just don't flow together and whatnot, but him and I, like, we worked on it really well. So yeah, this is Garden of Life, and I chose this because, I mean, it really does just look like a garden of life. There's, you know, plants in the background.
There's something about her.
It's something about the butterfly to me that just represents garden of life.
It's like the metamorphosis, you know, the stages of life. Yeah, they're very symbolic creatures. So we've already actually, this is kind of weird because I did pre-write these questions and we've already touched on this a bit. Okay. But my question is, what is your current mantra for life lately?
Current mantra for life?
You know, like how I was saying, closed mouths don't get fed. Or do you have one of those that you're like sticking to?
Oh my gosh, current mantra for life.
Fuck it.
Fuck it, just go after what you want. Letting go of my comfort zone. That is actually truly like, that is a mantra.
That is a mantra.
Letting go of my comfort zone, because I often can get so stuck in that bubble and it doesn't feel good as a human being, as an artist. For example, this is something so new and fresh for me, and I'm like, let's just do it. Let's do the damn thing.
Crushing it.
Anyways, Itari's Hypnotic mix. This is another ambient track on the album, and it's cool because I started the album with an ambient track. So basically like no drums or anything, just full on like melodics and atmosphere and stuff like that. And then I ended the album with an ambient track. And I chose this because Comes in Waves to me, the track, it really just means like your life, you're gonna go through so many emotions and it's gonna come no matter what, but it's a matter of just how you handle those things when they come your way. And for me, that's why I chose this, because this picture just really, when I look at it, it represents like all the different emotions I feel like that you may go through. And
it's very like kind of chaotic.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
But a little bit calming.
But that's how life is. It's kind of chaotic and kind of calming. So
yeah.
It comes in waves.
That's right. Absolutely. And this one's for the kids at home, because apparently kids watch the show. What advice do you have for people navigating the ups and downs of pursuing music, the waves?
Navigating the ups and downs. You know what? Like, this is actually something that I still go through till this day. I almost feel like it's a learning experience, like for your whole life.
Yeah, you never fully get
there.
Because
new things will happen. Maybe new type of rejections that you haven't got in the music industry yet. So on and so on. But my advice, honestly, is to just keep going.
Yeah. Just
to keep going. You actually people don't realize. I think like. Getting rejected sometimes is actually one of the best things that can happen to you.
Yep.
Because
rejection is protection.
Yes.
I
love that.
I'm so into mantras, guys.
Damn, you're a mantra queen, Jess.
No, I love mantras.
But
that's a good one, though.
It's so true because, like I said, I reached out to like 4 to 5 labels with this album and got rejected, and something in me was just saying like, keep going, keep going. And I did, and look where it got me. You know, I released my first album, did not even have the intention of that, and yeah, that is my advice.
Good advice
to all of you in the music industry.
Kids at home.
To all the kids at home, that's my advice.
Thank you for taking us on that journey, sister.
Of course.
You can even just roll with it.
No, that's perfect.
I'll go sister.
Sister? Seriously, that was so sick.
Oh my gosh.
No, but seriously, that was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing that.
Oh man, the giggles are coming. Thank you. No, honestly, thank you so much though. Like honestly, I have not been able to explain my album in that type of way. Like I've been able to explain my album like through words and stuff like that, but like actually having the overall experience of the photos and whatnot, and being able to explain why I chose those photos and how they matched up to the tracks, it was perfect. Chef's kiss.
And guys, I am just so proud of her as a friend, but also as an artist, because
thank you.
The glow up I've seen your career have, just every single week, it seems like you're booked and busy and you're getting fans.
Yes,
it's so exciting.
I'm doing my thing. Like I said, things started to really open up for me end of 2019. And then 2020, obviously, gigs weren't happening, but I still was like trying to find ways of how to make sure that I was staying consistent. And I did that through making music, through producing. And that really worked out for me. And now 2021, things have been happening. Yeah. Gigs are happening, and I'm just so excited to see what happens in the future. I'm feeling really good right now about my artistry. And
what's on the vision board? Do you have a specific gig or a specific artist you want to collab with?
Oh man.
Dream of all dreams.
I can go probably on a tangent about this, but my dream gig would be at Deck Mental in Amsterdam, playing on the Boiler Room stage. That is she spoke it into existence. I spoke it into existence. I know it's going to happen one day. It's just a matter of when. I'm working my way towards it, and yeah, that is literally the dream.
I can't wait to pull the clip. Oh my gosh, I can already see the video. You can use this as the opener, and then it'll just cut to you on stage.
Stop, that would be so crazy.
I'm telling you, this brain, it never turns off.
Oh my gosh. And then also, you mentioned, is there any artists I would love to make music with? I've literally a huge list. Yeah. I'm like, Sade. I do love that queen, though. Sade is a queen. I love her.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion and Itari. Can you imagine? That would actually
I could.
It would actually bop. No, but artists like Baltra, he's one of my favorites. One of my favorites is DJ Rum. That would be a dream. Peggy Goo. The list really just goes on. There's so many artists that I'm inspired by and would love to work on music with. But, yeah.
I can't wait to use this as a cut to in
a
couple of years.
Hell yeah.
However long it takes, because I know you're going to keep going.
Thank you.
But in the meantime, guys, she has a lot of shows coming up.
Yes.
What's the big one? I know you have a big one coming up.
I do have a big one coming up. So there's this party called the 900 Block, and they throw really, really dope underground warehouse parties here in LA. And that's where I'll be playing on December 3rd as the sub-headliner. I'll be the sub-headliner for the main headliner. He goes by Chrissy. He is so dope. So the fact that I get to sub-headline for him is absolutely like, out of this world. It's really such a great moment, and I just cannot wait.
Yes.
But yeah, December 3rd, and everyone should go.
Can you get tickets? Can you show up at the door?
Yes.
Do you know how any of that works?
Tickets are on residentadvisor.com. Also, if you actually just search my artist name in Resident Advisor, it'll show all the upcoming events that I have, and that will be on there. And people can easily just click on it, purchase a ticket, and then they can come and groove with me.
Catch me riding the rails at the Etari.
Come ride the rails, sis. We're all going to be there. Boom, boom,
Just look for
boom.
the weird girl in the front row, and you'll know that you're in the right place.
Yes.
It's really as easy as that.
There's a bunch of weirdos there. It's great. Like, good weirdos.
Is that what you like about it, though? Do you like playing?
Love it.
I feel like you kind of play to a very specific crowd.
Yeah, because honestly, and don't get me wrong, I'm not shaming on any sound. I'm just like not really into the tech house vibe and I guess just overall mainstream vibe. I feel like a very nice like intimacy with the more like underground sound.
Yeah.
And it's where I get to play a lot of like the stuff that I love. Like I love, that really like groovy kind of deeper house sound. I love break beats and jungle and all kinds of stuff. Electro, the list really goes on.
Yeah.
But it's the perfect space to play what I love. And I honestly, like, everyone on the dance floor is just losing it and having so much fun.
I know, guys. Yeah. I had the chance to see her play over the summer. I went to the desert.
Dude, that show really sparked everything for the rest of 2021. I'm not even kidding, Jess.
Well, I can vouch for her. The crowd, that was really rewarding for me as a friend to just see people losing it for you. It was so fun.
That was actually one of the most euphoric moments I've ever had.
Straight up, me too. I was backstage like dun, 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 dun.
Because honestly, I totally forgot that was my first event, I think, that I finally played after not playing gigs for so long.
Yeah.
And I just went in there and did it, and it was the most amazing experience.
It was so much fun.
It made me remember, I love what I do. I love DJing. I love producing. Especially DJing, though. Something about it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And
it was so badass.
You did so good. And honestly, you're just making me really proud with all of your growth from booking shows to doing interviews.
Thank you.
You're on a label now. The sky is the limit, guys.
Sky's the limit.
I'm so glad you got to experience her first interview ever.
Yes. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
Yeah. And if you want to keep up with her outside of this, where can they find you?
Oh, man, they can find me on SoundCloud, of course. That's where I literally have so much of my music. That's where I post. I make a lot of mixes for radio shows and stuff like that. So SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Utari. Spotify, you can find me on there, just Itari. Resident Advisor, if you want to stay, up to date on what shows I might have coming up. Of course, Instagram on there. And
I just thought of one last question. I already know this because I asked her personally, but can you let them know the meaning behind Itari?
Oh my gosh, yes, what a great last
Because you were just saying Itari, and it made me think,
that's actually such
know.
An amazing last question. Wow. So I came up with Itari because, well, first of all, the music I make, I feel is very ethereal to me. The music I produce is just very ethereal to me. So I was like, okay, how can I add ethereal into my new artist name? Because this is when I was finally over my last artist name. I was like,
what was the last artist name? I don't know it.
The last artist name is just so.
Oh my god, you're not even gonna use it. You're not even gonna. I know. I just to know.
Okay. My last artist name, it was Lexus, the car, and then my middle name is Monique, and I took just Moni, so it's Lexus Moni.
Okay, I was gonna say it's not that bad, but that was pretty bad.
Trust me, I literally been why did I ever use
It's just so not you.
And I deadass thought it was the coolest thing for a hot minute, and no.
No, Itari is so much more you.
Itari, exactly. I'm so glad I rebranded myself.
So back to the Itari
But let's get back to it, yeah. So I was like, okay, the music I make feels very ethereal to me. How can I add this into my new artist name? So I was like, okay, maybe I'll search it in a different language. And I'm half Hungarian. So I was like, okay, maybe let me search what ethereal means in Hungarian. And it means Itari, and it's spelled Eteri. But I was like, okay, I don't want to do exactly that, so how about I pronounce it Utari, and then I'm gonna just change the spelling a little bit, Etari. So that's how I came up with that.
Yes, and is the A for like Alexandria?
Honestly, no, but that is really good.
Because then it's more you?
Yeah, that's actually really good. I didn't
Now
even think
it
of
is.
that. Now it is. Thanks, Jess.
New answer.
I have a new thing, yeah.
Thank you so much for
Of
coming
course.
in.
I love you so much. What an amazing time.
Oh my gosh, I knew it. I knew it. All right, guys, that was so much fun. Thank you for making it with us through to episode 5. As always, you can keep up with us at Mic Drop Music, www.micdropmusic.com, and we'll see you next week.